Yo, so what's up, Jose, aka Cinnamon once again with my boys. Boys, introduce yourselves.
So me go first.
All right, phenomenal. Yeah, I'm Baker. Hello.
Oh, you're Mactastic.
I'm ending the bit.
What? You can't.
Yep, I'm ending it right now.
This is a dual
I'm
bit.
making my own destiny. I've got my own T-cog. I'm making my own destiny.
Maybe we are hiding in plain sight.
Okay, so is there any way to hide this? I hope so.
Yeah,
Why-
I didn't hear an introduction. Phenomenal.
Hello, I'm Phenomenal. I'm sticking
You're
with the bit.
you're currently playing RuneScape. Is this correct?
I've been playing RuneScape since I got on this call nearly 3 hours ago.
So the entire time you were watching Transformers Uno, you were playing RuneScape.
I don't know what you expected.
Wait, were you actually playing RuneScape when you were watching the movie?
Yeah, I have 2 monitors.
I had an inkling, but I just didn't know. I wasn't 100%
I was
sure.
paying attention. There wasn't a lot going on.
I wasn't like, I'm not saying like, oh, you were paying. It's like, it's funny because I would have done the same thing had I had a second monitor.
Yeah,
Okay,
I retained more of that movie than Jose doing the dishes watching some random isekai in English.
You're probably correct. I'm not gonna lie.
Also, why are you streaming the Discord? Shouldn't you be streaming the Google Doc sheet?
Well, it didn't give me an option. That's what I
I'm
gonna need
down.
my Stim videos, bud.
Yeah, Stim videos. Yeah, change windows. Oh,
I need you to put Common Writer transformation.
do you even have a Google Doc open?
It's right here.
Oh,
See?
there you go.
Okay, live.
We're here live.
All right. So, a couple of news stories today. So, we all know about Uzumaki's controversial animation, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were the ones that told me about the
I was
nosedive.
Just gonna say, are we gonna talk about Blue Lock season 2? I've heard some stuff.
So, apparently, Blue Lock is also in the same.
It's a hot mess right now.
All the soccer fans, all the Blue Lock fans are.
Wait, this article's saying it's being compared to a PowerPoint slide.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
so we're talking Record of Ragnarok levels here.
So Bradley Russell here with Games Radar. He wrote a really fine article. I won't read it though. But he did link some videos, and I want to show them to you guys. Check this out.
Oh yeah, look at it.
What is?
Yeah, look at it. Look at it. It's going so hard right now.
Man,
these guys were struggling more than the Uzumaki guys.
These guys probably had like twice the budget of Kill la Kill and made an inferior
product.
What
was that transition? Did you guys see that?
It was...
Oh yeah, the like page flip transition?
Literally, what are we doing?
It was in the software they use. It was one of the default settings. They were like, good enough.
Man.
View the replies on this.
All right, so let's see. We'll go to X.
Bring the fucking Blue Lock something.
Bruh, the fucking Blue Lock game has better animation than this. I'm going to pass out.
We have 2D and 3D animation. Like, what are we doing?
I don't know. I thought that first season did pretty well. Like, this second season came out super quick. Maybe the quickness of it is the devil in the details, I guess. They were like, we got to pump out this show. People really like the soccer thing, and then this is what you get.
But they might as well hire the game studio to make the anime. Yeah,
dropping quality.
Wait,
do they got a mobile game?
Yeah, apparently they got a mobile game. They're like, just get the mobile game guys to fucking do it. Like, because it looks so bad, apparently.
Keep them busy.
Was thinking the same thing. Please stop. I can't take it no more.
Yeah.
Man.
That's about right.
Blue Lock season 2 has disappointed everybody. So just to kind of explain what we're talking about. So Blue Lock season 2 has had some very awful animation apparently, and it almost looks like a PowerPoint. Given that I just showed you guys a clip, how do you guys feel about that?
Well, I mean, the page flipping slide didn't really help, did it?
Still better than 7 deadly frames.
Man, it's just I don't even know what to say, man. It's like if they're looking at what they're showing, it's just like they must have been forced to pump it out. There's no way they looked at that and were satisfied. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's what the Uzumaki devs said. They were like, either we put it out or it never sees the light of day, and we'll like all the work we put in will go to waste.
Yeah, so they essentially decided to put their work out and just say like, fuck it, we did it.
Well, and like anime doubles as both entertainment and like an advertisement, right? Like you're not doing a good job on either with stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to sound mean.
No, it only like hurts the fans, and it makes it like does this thing where like it puts your anime in the spotlight, but for a bad reason.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say is at least Uzumaki's first episode looked pretty good. So,
Mhm.
like, if you watch that first episode, you watch the second one, you're like, oh, this looks like garbage. But I enjoyed that first episode. Maybe I'll go check out Uzumaki. Like,
And
that's
then you get the
that's the only saving grace I think Uzumaki has. Whereas, like, I know it's your baby Salem, but I would not watch Record of Ragnarok, anything, or read it. Like, that animation has turned me off of that thing so hard.
Yeah, I mean, I'll sing its praises until the end of time. At least the first 4 fights of Record of Ragnarok. I don't know what happens after, but I mean, if you got turned off by the anime, well,
Yeah, same thing with Seven Deadly Sins. Like, I started the bad season. I don't remember. I think it was the third or fourth season. I was like, nope, this looks like shit now.
unfortunately, yeah.
I mean, all I can say for myself is when Seven Deadly Sins was like airing and whatnot, like I had binged the first 2 seasons with some friends of mine because one of our buddies in that group was like, hey, you guys should check this out. We watched it together. I was really into it. And then season 3 happened and I'm like, nope, I'm good.
Yep, same thing I did.
I literally don't care what happens in the manga for whatever reason. That was like a thing I only wanted to consume in anime form, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I feel that because it's like Oshinoko for me. I don't want to read the manga. I only want to watch the anime. And well, like I said last week, for whatever reason, it's popular. But yeah, no, that's like one I want to watch. Like as an anime, I don't want to touch the manga. I don't care to read it. So yeah, I gotta fit. The fact that like Uzumaki, Blue Lock are hitting like these very lows right now doesn't look well for the future of anime, especially with crunch and the declining population rate of Japan, and the fact that whenever they hire like overseers, it's like in a limited capacity. So yeah, anime is not looking too good right now.
I mean, it's a tale as old as time. Like, don't try not to rush stuff if you can. Generally, you're gonna get bad products.
And I think like what these things have been has been like we're trying to rush to get stuff out for the season instead of like, hey, let's take our time. Because I think a lot of like what makes anime money now is like merchandise and stuff. Like you would not believe the amount of merchandise I see for Blue Lock every time I'm on like Ami or Tokyo Taco Mode or Solaris Japan, just looking for statues. Like I'll see a bunch of like Blue Lock statues, but then I'll also see like Blue Lock stickers, Blue Lock keychains, Blue Lock napkins and shit like that. And it's like, do we really need all this? So yeah, it's an unfortunate truth where we're at right now with anime. I've had these things up screen for a little bit. What do you guys think of these?
It looks like something season 1 Ichigo would wear. Only season 1, by the way.
I mean, they look like generic shoes. I'm not gonna lie to you. They look like shoes I'd find at your local shoe store. You know what I mean?
They do. What are these called?
ASICS.
ASICS?
Yep.
Yo, these are like your dad's shoes. Like your dad.
No, dad shoes are New Balance. Come on, get it right.
Yeah. Okay. New Balances and these ones. I've seen dads wear both.
I was about to say they remind me of New Balance shoes.
Exactly. Like I don't think dads look at the brand. I think they just go, that looks comfortable.
Look, all I'm saying is if you're dressing to like fashion over comfort, you're doing it wrong.
No, okay, so who was that the vice president candidate that you told me about? The guy who like start my lawnmower in the winter for sure. I feel like
Tim
he'd wear
Walz.
these.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel like he'd wear these and be like, oh, what are these? From a cartoon? Well, I'm just glad I'm wearing them. They're comfy.
I mean,
they got a couple of styles.
Man.
I mean, they look fine. They just don't stand out enough to make me really want to pick them up specifically. You know what I mean? Like, if I saw them on a shelf, I'd be like, that's a neat color scheme. It doesn't stick out like the Nier Automata shoes.
The Nier shoes or the JoJo shoes.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of shoes on here, right? Yeah, it was the JoJo shoes and the Nier shoes.
Like those stick out enough to where I could be like, all right, these seem pretty interesting. These shoes, it's just like whatever. You know what I mean?
I don't like these. These do not personally do anything for me, but I do like anime branding on clothing that is subtle instead of like in your face about it. You know what I mean?
I have
Oh, you have that One Piece watch.
I do. I wear it all the time.
Yeah,
I have
Shut the fuck up, Salem. I know you can see it.
Can I, Sherm?
I have these shoes. I don't know if you guys have ever seen them.
It was at Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I have these, like the
I don't
high
think
tops.
I have, but like I do like those actually. But you like see in this case, you flat out have the character on the shoes. Like that sticks out to me more than just like, oh, it's red and has some lines. Like I'm not going to think, oh, that's necessarily from Bleach. You know what I mean? Besides like the small sigil on the back of the shoes.
Yeah, and I mean I like them. They're pretty comfortable. It's just the high top fans have always been like, I wear them and then I wear them down, but then these are like the Sailor Moon limited edition, and I don't want to ruin them. So then it's like, so
I can get behind them.
I like them. I really like them. I got them when I was in Seattle. But yeah, the Bleach shoes, they definitely don't stand out as Bleach shoes. So unless like you're looking at the back and you're like, is that Ichigo's emblem?
Dude, actually, I think I own this style of shoe, or at least I used to pretty recently, because I'm looking at the design. It's reminding me finally.
That's
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay.
Hey,
How much?
if you want
No, absolutely no fucking way for $164.
145
That's the
to
price.
164. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry,
Yep.
but I love Bleach, but that does not make me want to buy them.
Yeah, do you
Yeah.
love Bleach? Why are you not buying the Bleach sneakers?
You guys are fake
Fake
fans.
fan.
Yep, true. So true.
So, I mean, big ups to whoever gets these. You know what? I wish I had the disposable income to just start buying these shoes and just to display them, like not wear them, just to display them. Near shoes, JoJo shoes, Bleach shoes, whatever shoes come out. I'll just be like, yeah, this is my anime shoe display.
I would
I
not buy
wish.
these for that display. There is not a. You would have to fucking explain it.
I
every
know
time. People
that would be the
like,
funniest.
The highly coveted Bleach shoes.
Yeah, these are my Bleach
think it would
shoes.
be-
You can tell by the logos on them.
I think it would be
Turn the
funnier.
shoes around.
Yeah,
I think it would be funnier if people came in, they're like, oh, these are some really nice shoes. They're looking at the near ones. They're like, oh, these are kind of cool. The JoJo ones, and they're like, and they see these, like, what are they? ASICS? Yeah,
ASICS.
ASICS. They're like, what are you doing with these? ASICS. I was like, if you know, you know. You're gonna be like, what? So
I
you just
hate
got
that.
dad shoes in here.
I hate that so much. The phrase "if you know, you know."
If you know, you know.
Yeah,
Insert
you know, you know.
the Joker saying you wouldn't get it.
you just wouldn't get it. We live in a society, Batman.
We live in a society. I don't know if you remember in that movie, but he said like, "Who's gonna give you the reach around, Bruce?" I was like, "Oh,
No, I blocked that out. Thank God.
Yeah, it was awful."
Sounds
Okay, so the biggest news of the week. You guys heard about this? I know you have.
Oh,
Even Forbes
yeah.
wrote an article.
This was all over Twitter.
I know it exists. I don't know what it is though.
You don't know what this is, Salem?
Is this like the Typhlosion breeds the lady and then makes like?
Hey,
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I think
so
Yeah.
there's been I believe a leak, if I'm remembering correctly. And I guess like there are like a good chunk of Pokemon that have like hidden lore. Some people were saying it's borderline like smut fan fiction, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some Pokemon have some interesting history. Like Octillery, I believe, is one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about that, you guys?
I don't know what it is.
artillery, you say?
I know what an octillery is.
No, but you don't know the forbidden lore.
How do you spell that?
I don't know.
Artillery?
Oh my dear lord.
Like an octopus.
I'm not even gonna. I don't know how to spell that, so I'm just gonna give up.
It's like an octopus.
Oh, I've literally lost my train
Brother.
of thought. I'm sorry. I've
What
lost
does
my train of thought.
What does the octillery do, Salem?
So from what I've read, this is the only one I actually read a good chunk on. So apparently, at some point in the past, a man finds a female octillery
Mm-hmm.
and they have relations with each other
Yeah.
and somehow have children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this was
Isn't that
the
what
Ty-
the-
yeah, this
yeah.
is just the Typhlosion thing, right?
Yeah, but it's like a young girl.
Yeah. People were painting Typhlosion as a predator, essentially, if I remember it.
Gotta check out the
Yeah, right.
fan art on this. It's gotta be good.
Right here, a long time ago when the boundary between Pokemon and humans was unclear. Like, what are you
Very
talking
interesting times, I'm sure.
So this is like official or what?
No, it's like it's lore that was like waxed, or like it's like in the Pokemon, like it's like in the Game Freak vault, but like it's not
So-
official. Like they haven't published it.
Oh,
Yeah, like people were claiming this was like a leak by somebody, I guess.
So it came from Game Freak. Is that what you're
Yup.
telling me?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So right here,
So
a young girl is.
So it's official. Got it.
So somebody at Game Freak wrote it, but
Mhm.
it's never been published in a Pokemon game. But according to this, it says a young girl is tricked by shape-shifting Bakufun, the Typhlosion, into thinking that he's human. Eventually, she apparently has a child with him, and she's called his wife. Her father eventually comes to kill the Typhlosion, and when she returns to the village, she and her half Pokemon child are teased by the men in the village who, at one point, cover its for at one point cover in its first skins. Then they run into the forest and are never seen again. Like, I don't know, who cares?
So I just sent a picture in the text chat during this whole thing, and it just makes me laugh so much.
Allegations beaten children in good hands, women not raped. Just
Apologize right now. It
I-
kills me, man.
The only thing I'll say is I have a feeling they have like their writers for this kind of stuff. Like they definitely write darker stuff because there are some Pokedex entries that are real fucked up about
Oh
some
yeah,
Pokemon.
like the balloon that kidnaps kids.
Yeah.
Drifloon.
Yep.
I think they're
Yeah.
like pushing the boundary with that, but then like, oh my God, listen to the like this is part of the like, and this was supposed to be part of the entry. The girl said, "Please stop. You're going to kill my father. Please stop. Let yourself be killed. Goodbye. We'll never meet again." Like what?
So I imagine they gave them like direction. They're like, write some dark shit and we'll see what sticks. And someone went way too far. Like someone someone was reading the spicy books and was like, I know what to do here. I'll make Typhlosion into that character. And then I don't know. They were probably like, yeah, we're not putting this in a children's video game.
I'm wondering if they thought like, oh well, a lot of our Pokemon lore is based on Japanese culture, folktale, and like yokai, and it's like, okay, but like, yeah, this game is fairly popular though around the world, where some of the stuff that you guys think is okay is highly like condemned. So maybe you should like
All I'm gonna say is
clean that up.
I think it's very funny that someone apparently found these saved documents and then released them to the
So
public.
So from what I understand, Game Freak got hacked again. They basically got an employee to like, accept some kind of like some kind of thing to like get all his information. They went in, downloaded everything, and then they released it. And while everybody was scrubbing through the leaks, they came across this stuff, and this is what everybody's been focusing on. Because this leak also included like a bunch of like Pokemon like prototype starters and stuff like that. What's that? I think it's Gen 3. Is it the like flaming chicken? I don't know their names. Please.
Is it
Torchic.
Yeah. So there was one version where it was like water, and then there was another version where it was like obviously the other one, the earth. Same thing with the other starters. Yeah. So they all were different elements, and it's like they chose which one looked the best type of thing. So there was a lot more.
Pretty standard.
Yeah, there was a lot that came with the leak, but the thing that everyone focused on were these weird things where it's like, yo, why are like Pokemon writers sexualizing weird interspecies romances? Like this is getting out of hand. Like,
Well, hey man, enough fans do it. I'm sure there's at least one employee over there that does the same. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
which is the funniest part is like, the internet does it, but no one bats an eye. Game Freak does it, or the internet goes crazy. That's what I was like, oh, they quoted the Joker there, huh? Okay. But yeah, no, it's like literally it was just like, yo, look at what Game Freak officially wrote in their server. Like this is in their server, so they're like freaking out that this is coming from the horse's mouth, I guess.
Well, yeah, if it's coming from an employee, like from the actual company, it has a lot more spice than it does from just like a random Yahoo on Twitter making fan art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but
I think
this
it's
was the
funny.
funny thing.
Just like
Oh,
seeing this stuff, but it's honestly not a huge deal. Like Pokemon was always like primarily targeted towards a younger audience anyway, so
Yeah, which they need to come down with all these entries. But yeah, if I see Zach, I'll kind of ask him about this if he even knows about it. But he's our Pokemon expert. Okay, so moving on from that, you guys probably don't care, but I kind of wanted to watch this Batman Ninja with you guys. Trailer. I got a second trailer. I watched it, and I'm kind of debating whether I want to watch it because I know I said before like this looks terrible. I don't want to watch it, but then I did good. Then I looked at this and I was like, oh, maybe the CG will look a little better than last time. But I can't tell if this is like what Uzumaki was trying to do, you know, like look good in a like CGI kind of way. I know the story is gonna be dumb. I just hope, because besides the Flash,
Man, I just can't with these outfits. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm gonna be honest, besides the Flash, I do like how a lot of them look. Like it is dumb and they do look a little stupid, but oh, she's Wonder Woman.
Let's go.
Oh, he gets a mech. Okay. Ra's al Ghul. How do you guys say it? Raz or Rosh?
I forget. Like I know in something they corrected. Is it Raish?
Yeah,
Raish. Yeah.
I've heard Raish a lot.
Ra's al Ghul. I think that's the one they want to like make canon. But I know that quite a few, like, what do you call it? Like the creator, I think he's been like, oh, it's supposed to be Roz. I don't. It is what it is. So, what do you guys think of that? Like, that's? I know you guys haven't watched the first one, but did that look any appealing?
Not really.
No.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I
It's a very bizarre setting to kind of put these people in. I don't like the outfits for the most part. It definitely isn't for me.
Hmm.
I definitely like the outfits. I just don't know what's like what I don't know why we got a Yakuza League, like, and then I don't like the only one I don't like
Brother,
is
we gotta
Flash.
put them in every setting imaginable.
Hmm.
I don't like the Flash's costume. He's just like wear a silver robe and a hat. Like
Give them the biggest hat possible.
I like how tatted up Aquaman is. That's cool. I like Jessica Cruz's Green Lantern. She looks pretty cool in like her kimono with the like things coming out her hair. The
Okay,
Wonder Woman
I'll
one
give you
though.
that one. I'll give you that one. I will say the Green Lantern outfit looks decent for sure, but I'm just not jiving with the setting.
Yeah, the story looks absolutely bonkers, and I feel like just like Batman Ninja, I'm just gonna be like, this was nothing. Yeah, so that's my fear, is if I watch this, I'm gonna go in because I'm like, oh, the character design looks cool, this kind of looks okay, and then I'm just gonna be like, that was nothing. This was worse than a nothing burger.
Wait, I'm sorry.
But
Did you say you had watched what was it, Ninja Batman? Batman Ninja?
Batman Ninja, yep, I have. I went in because I
Did
was
you
like,
enjoy
oh,
that?
so no, because I only enjoyed the action and stuff and the character designs, but the story was nothing. So,
Mm.
moving on. I feel like, sure, have you ever played Corpse Party?
No.
Salem.
I would love to, but I didn't really have much opportunity until recently.
Okay, so the official Corpse Party 2 Darkness Distortion game has been delayed to 2025. They've been promising this game for like 15 to 20 years now.
Oh, yeah, I have seen on Twitter people getting super hyped that they were making more of this, but I mean, do they not have a confirmed date? It's just delayed till sometime in 2025.
Yeah, so I
Man.
know that for like a long time they were trying to get like a Corpse Party 2 off the ground. And if you remember Corpse Party 1, it's just like it was made, I think, in RPG Maker.
Yeah,
And
I was trying to think of the term. It is very much like RPG Maker-esque for sure. It was not a graphics game.
yeah, and like that's the thing, is like it was made in RPG Maker, and they're like, oh, look, come play it, like come, it like popped off in the mid 2000s because of YouTubers. I remember PewDiePie was the one I saw.
Oh, did he play
This,
Corpse Party?
yeah,
Oh, huh.
yeah, so he's the one I saw this from. And then I remember reading an article that the like rights to Corpse Party got sold off to a company. And then the original guy who made Corpse Party was trying to get off the ground another game, but he was kind of putting too much money towards it. He was releasing it in episodes, and he's just kind of run out, or he's either got burnout or he's run out of money. So it's just kind of been silent since.
Well, I'm
But
curious, like, is this going to be a way
yeah.
more like intensive, like higher graphic kind of game then?
So let's see. Let's look up Corpse Party
Because I mean, I
2.
feel bad for the guy if he's just been pouring a lot of time and money into it and he wasn't able to like get his vision done, you know? He's like, I know the story of Corpse Party and I quite enjoy it. I just never got to play it, but
I don't know if they'll have like
Sherm, do you know the story of Corpse Party at all, at least? Or
Nope.
okay.
I know this. I know somewhat.
Okay. Well, I could say it pretty quick. It's not super complicated or anything.
Am I getting the story here? They're in a hospital.
Yeah.
They can't leave the hospital.
Well, they upgraded
Yeah.
the models, that's for sure.
Did you ever see like the Corpse Party Blood Party that came out on like the Vita or whatever it was?
I have not. No, the only thing I know about Corpse Party is like the original story, if I'm not mistaken. And that's it. Any other add-ons, I know very little about.
Yeah. So
For Sherm's sake here, since he doesn't really know, so essentially the original story. There's also an anime. So the original story was more or less like young girl gets tortured, traumatized, etc., ends up becoming evil evil spirit. And your, stereotypical group of school friends, as they do, they want to play some type of occult type game to, I think it was to like wish them luck for some such like an event or something, They play the game or perform the ritual, whatever it was. And of course it goes awry and they end up getting sent into, I believe, like a parallel dimension of some sort with that evil spirit of the young girl. And basically they're just like traumatized. People start losing their minds. People die, that type of thing. So it's not a super complicated setting. But if the other games added more to that, I don't know. But that's more or less the gist of it.
There's been updated lore with looking at like the wiki here, like new chapter, blood cover.
Holy moly! I didn't realize there was this many games.
Oh yeah, Book of Shadows, Sachiko's Hysteric Birthday Bash. That's probably a really dumb one. Corpse Party 2, Dead Patient. So
Blood Drive.
So here's the thing that I don't understand. What is the difference between Corpse Party 2 and Corpse Party Dos, I guess?
Oh, Corpse Party 2, Dead Patient Muses? And then Distortion? Well, that's a good question, man. That's far beyond my knowledge. I just know the original stuff.
Yeah, I think the original game is what most people know. So, I mean, it is what, like, I know people have been clamoring for more Corpse Party. This is that dilemma. People say, we want more Corpse Party. We want more Corpse Party. And they make more Corpse Party. Nobody buys or plays it. So it's always that thing where people are clamoring for it and then they don't get it.
I guess my next question would be too, is like, did all these games also get like an official English translation as well?
So that's if I pull up the wiki one more time.
Because
you can see right here. Yeah, so the original Corpse Party did not. So I think it might have been fan translated.
That would be my only option there. Yeah, I was thinking fan translation too.
Or yeah, Corpse Party Blood Covered, I think, was the like enhanced version. So yeah, it came out in 2016. Blah blah blah. So
yeah, I mean that happened with Fate too. Reality Nua, I believe, was like an enhanced version or the English translated version, one of the two, something like that. So it's possible some of those were just re-releases or something.
Now, like that original one is like such a funny concept, and it's so weird that no one ever like tried to kind of. Well, I don't know if like anybody else didn't try to like make a new kind of horror JRPG or little RPG maker type of thing, because I thought that was like a really pretty like unique concept. But would you ever play this Corpse Party then, Salem?
Yeah. I mean, once I kind of put aside the games I'm currently playing, I wouldn't mind giving it a go for sure. It's just I have to fully understand like how many of these games in the docket are sequels or maybe like side stories, and which ones
I think
just, like, enhanced versions.
I feel like the only important one would be that first one. Everything else can be thrown into the bin. What about you, Sherm? Would you ever play Corpse Party?
Probably not.
Well, I mean, there's also that issue that you brought up too when we were reading like how many games there were of like there's 2 games with 2 in them, so that's
pretty dumb. Like, are you a horror fan, Sherm? I've never asked, and if I have, I think I forgot.
I've told you multiple times that I don't really like horror.
Yeah, I'm not a big horror guy either. But I feel like you are, Salem, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, there's just so many interesting stories and like creatures people think up and scenarios people put like the main character into. Like, I really enjoy it.
Well, we're in the spooky season, and Mihata's super excited for Terrifier 3, so let's see where that goes.
Yeah, okay.
She was like scrolling through Amazon Prime and she was like, Terrifier 3? I was like, Mihata, that says Terrifier 1. And then she had to squint and it was like 2019, okay. Or whenever it came out.
Seems like a B-movie horror kind of gal for sure.
Oh yeah, she watches a lot of like kind of middling to bad horror movies, and then she goes, "That wasn't too terrible." I'm like, Mihata, that was awful.
It wasn't that bad. It makes me wonder if she played what was it, Unfriended, or if she?
Yeah, she watched it. She watched that movie.
Oh, she did.
She was like,
I knew it.
Yep, she did, and she was like, "It could have been better."
Yeah, it could have been better. I've seen enough of that film, and I think they made a sequel too.
They did. It was like Dark Web, and then it turned out there were ghosts.
That's the one.
There were ghosts in the chat.
There
were ghosts in the chat.
See, like B movie like horror or like to that like quality, that is very much up in the air whether I'm gonna enjoy it or not. Like I don't seek out stuff like that too often.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad, and then like I watched say like somebody kind of break it down for me, and then I was like, yeah, that sounds horrible. I'm glad I didn't watch it.
Man, it's weird
Okay.
because like I enjoy horror games for the most part. I mean, not all of them are gold, but like I think my game enjoyment of horror stuff to like movie enjoyment is really just like at odds. Because most horror movies I watch, they're just kind of lame or shit just doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. I don't know, but
Like,
I'll
I
drop
think,
that if you want to move on.
well, I was gonna say, I think Conjuring 1 was pretty good. I think Insidious 1 and 2 were really good. But like after that, it's like whenever new heads take over, we kind of lose. It's like, I feel like it's the creator. Like if a creator is a big horror fan, then they really know what they're doing.
Hmm.
So, I mean, the creator of those two movies, Conjuring 1 and 2 and Insidious 1 and 2, I mean, he directed the first Saw movie, so I mean, people seem to like his stuff.
Yeah, I watched the original Conjuring forever ago at this point. I remember not liking it, but I don't remember what happens either. So, maybe one day I
Well,
need to actually rewatch it.
oh, we'll say this: the Warrens were a bunch of facts, so not that it matters.
Hmm.
All right, so do you guys hear about what Bandai Namco's been doing?
Oh, goody. I can't wait.
They've been sending like apparently employees to expulsion rooms. That way they get discouraged and quit. That way they don't have to pay out like what is it like what is it like when a company lets you go?
Unemployment.
Yeah, but whatever the like Japanese version of that is. So they've been banishing, it says here, according to a Bloomberg source, the company has moved roughly 200 employees to so-called, I'm not saying that, expulsion rooms to encourage them to resign voluntarily, with about 100 of them having already done so. It says workers who have been assigned to the expulsion rooms aren't given tasks, but their lack of work may affect severance pay, so employees are implicitly encouraged to resign. So this is to kind of get around the Japan's country labor laws.
Man,
And this is
just
the whole reason
design
this has,
evil.
yeah, and the whole reason this has happened is because lo and behold, a bunch of their recent anime games haven't been doing that well, especially the One Piece and Naruto ones. The like
Yeah, let's just
open
pump
world
out.
and arena fighters,
Yeah, pump out another arena fighter. That'll fix it any day.
which is really funny to say because they make tales of game. They make the Tales of games. They make Tekken. They make a bunch of other games. So like, what is going on with Bandai Namco right now? They made the Dark Picture anthologies. We haven't gotten a new one. It's the spooky season. What's going on? Which also leads me into my next story, which is kind of odd considering this was Bandai. They sold 3 million copies of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero within the first 24 hours.
And that nostalgia's still hitting hard, huh?
God damn.
Oh yeah.
How many more times do you guys want to replay the events of Dragon Ball Z?
Apparently, the big selling point that apparently a lot of people have found for Sparking Zero is that the what ifs are just go nuts. Like you can just make any what if.
Oh,
Apparently,
you mean
I
those
don't
like
know.
custom story like scenarios where like you can pin people together?
Yeah, where like I watched one where like somebody apparently there's like conditions you can meet, and then like if you meet them, Goku can like beat Raditz, he never dies, and like it goes from there. There's another one where like Goku turns into Super Saiyan against Grade 8 Vegeta if you meet certain requirements. Good luck.
I mean, if you're that invested into Dragon Ball, I could definitely see why people are like, losing their minds over something like that, right? Because people love dreaming up what dream matches, that type of stuff.
Oh yeah.
People love that
People
shit.
people have been doing dream matches with Kaba and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Super Saiyan with the fusion ones with Gogeta. Just people have been going nuts and crazy with them.
Yeah, like that's the Dragon Ball community's like bread and butter, is like comparing
Yeah.
power levels and stuff like that. So for those invested, I could see them really loving that. I'm definitely not a Dragon Ball lover. I am fond of Z to an extent, part of that's nostalgia. But yeah, clearly we're not up to snuff compared to some of these folks. I mean, have you played Sparking Zero yet, Jose? Because you bought it.
I was actually gonna play a little bit of it today.
Oh, I see.
Um,
Well, be careful.
Here,
on
I
that
saw a
first
meme.
boss.
How Mexican cartels will sleep in peace this week, knowing how Mexicans will sleep in peace this week, knowing cartel activity will be fairly low. Dragon Ball Daima and Sparking Zero is about to drop.
Oh, dude, I've seen those memes all over Twitter. Those things make me laugh.
Yeah, where it's like I
The
saw
crime
one where
rate's
it
gone
was like,
down and
oh yeah, it's like, oh, the cartel. Yeah, here's a TikTok. Akira Toriyama has been captured by the world government. No, that's something else. Yeah, but like I always love the memes where it's like Dragon Ball content is happening, the cartel rate is about to drop. So I think it's pretty funny. I do think that though this game did fairly well. Why are we cutting staff? It's probably all the awful anime games that they've been making, I feel like this one is just hitting like the Tenkaichi nostalgia, which they were super like pushing during the like during the marketing. I don't know if you guys remembered, where
Oh,
it's like
dude, I
Budokai
remember.
Tenkaichi series returns.
I remember seeing like either like a trailer or like just like an image where it did say Budokai Tenkaichi 4 or something like that, like forever ago. So like yeah, people were losing their shit over that. And I mean, those were fun games back in the day for sure.
Yeah.
I've seen some gameplay. It looks all right to me.
It's fairly standard to what those early PlayStation 2 games were. It's the same thing, except it just handles a little bit better, plays a
What I'm
little
about
better.
to say isn't really a slight towards the game per se, but I did see a video of like I guess like competitive play or high level play between two people.
Yeah.
And there's something called like the Z counter, if I'm not mistaken, where
Oh,
it's
yep,
like
yep.
a perfect timed counter, and you can like basically shove off someone's like combo or move. It just stops them. And in that video, both players were doing that continuously to each other. So one guy would do it, they'd bounce off, then the guy would respond, he'd get bounced off. It was not interesting to watch. So I don't know how that'll appeal to people if like, you know, it gets big for competitive play or whatever, but
That's the
if
thing. I
people are
don't know
doing that back and forth.
who's
Oh,
playing
go
this
ahead.
competitively though. Like that's so
Well,
weird.
well, that's the question. I don't know for sure. I mean, that's just what like the video was labeled, and then people in the comments were saying is like these were like, you know, I guess like higher tier or just like seasoned fighting game players or whatever.
They'd have to be like seasoned arena fighter. Like imagine like, yo, they were super sick in that Jujutsu Kaisen game and that Demon Slayer one. They popped off.
Oh, they were going hard in Ninja Storm 4, man.
Oh yeah, like oh dude, Naruto Boruto Generations, that went crazy.
I mean, I'm sure like timing that perfect counter is like semi difficult.
Very
I'll give the
hard.
benefit of the
Yeah.
doubt. But like if this was like a thing that people are watching, it just seems so fucking boring if that ends up being a thing. You know what I mean?
You know what I've seen kind of like so this has nothing to do with the so you know most like Dragon Ball fans probably Mexican for one. The other part is that some of the Dragon Ball fans are like they only know the Z story and some of them kind of know the super stuff. Well, there's been a small minority of people online that are like they keep ignoring the manga stuff. Like we want granola, we want Moro, we want the like you know all these other guys. I'm just like guys, stop. You know, we're not gonna get Black Frieza. We're not gonna get Ultra Ego. Just be happy we're at least getting something right now.
That's what we call DLC, baby.
It's true, but I don't know. Like imagine if we get Black Frieza in Sparking Zero
Oh, well, that's just
or
something,
Moro, a manga canon
man.
character.
Oh, I don't read the manga. I'm not a big Dragon Ball fan. I've already said this, but like I know about Moro, and man, what a solid ass design when he's an old man. But like
Yeah.
as he was powering up, I liked his design substantially less as time went on. And his final
Oh, when
form,
he
I
gets
think, is
younger
terrible.
and
Yeah, he loses that old man visage. He loses the sick beard he's got. Like he stops being this creepy old wizard and just becomes generic enemy man. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's just a waste of a design. And like his whole thing too was like him being able to use magic. And when I heard that this guy was a dude that could do that, I'm like, oh, I'll watch some videos on him. And I watched a couple talking about the whole arc, and it just seems kind of boring, I guess. Like that final form is so bad. I hate it.
This one, it just looks
Yeah,
like a Frieza. This
it looks
Frieza cell.
like just generic alien man that has horns. Like I don't like it
Yeah.
compared to how he was before, you know.
Like compare pointy ears, old man with horns kind of going like sticking out like the back of his head to like now they're on the top of his head. And
I mean,
like where
hell,
did
I'll
this
take
fucking
his.
gen come from?
Oh, that's because he he absorbed like an alien android type dude.
Oh,
Um
dude,
yeah.
I don't remember much about the Moro saga.
It's fresh in my mind just because that's the only like recent Dragon Ball thing I've watched. It was just so ugh. He ends up
Well,
like fusing with the planet. It was just not good, man.
oh yeah, dude, and so I did read the manga, the super manga. Vegeta and Goku tend to lose a lot, just like the original show. So
Oh, well damn.
there's that, and some things never change. So do you guys remember I brought up that smartphone PC game a while back? They brought a new trailer out. I thought you guys might just enjoy, you know, a little bit of what's her character, Sakura.
Salem, hold
Wait,
out your hands so we can connect.
Oh yes, we have to do our team attack.
That's right. Sell product.
See, this is what makes me kind of sad. Like, I feel like a Madoka Magica game could be so promising. Not an arena fighter though, but I feel like there is a concept there.
Yeah, it would be really, really fucking cool. But the people that own
Pretty
the
refreshing.
the people that own the properties, we love do stupid shit with them because it's cheap.
Oh yeah.
Well, because we already had a mobile game prior to this one.
Did we?
And I played it. Yeah, we did. And I played it, and like it was all right. It didn't have too much that stood out to me personally. As someone that's played a few of these gacha games, but like it was decently cool. And then that got axed, if I'm not mistaken. At least it got axed over here in the West. Because there was like a shutdown notice, and now they're making another. Like this is a gacha game, yeah.
Yeah, it says right here the English version launched in the United States and Canada in 2019. Service ended in September 2020. So
yeah, that got axed.
Big yikes.
But yeah, they're making another one. And it's just like, I guess, man, I have no interest as much as I like Madoka, but I hope it does well. I guess I'm honestly only really caring about Walpurgis Nacht Rising.
Yeah,
that comes out.
You think you think this game and Walpurgis Rising will come out at the same time? I hope so, and then we'll only consume one. We'll only do one.
I mean, I hope the people that are planning to play this game have fun, but I'm very much checked out on gacha game stuff for the most part. Like I hope the story's good, but I only really care about the movie. Like that's what we've been waiting for Lord knows how long.
Well, I mean, I do wish like we would get something. Like I said, I feel like a Madoka Magica video game has like good, like it's there. We just need to figure out what it is, and like you could even like bring in the like what is it, the side story one, Magia record. Bring in those fucking characters, make it an Arc System Works game, fighting game, like Magical Girl fighting game. Like, come on, just do something cool. But like,
a part of me would kind of appreciate just some weird Madoka Magica fighting game. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, and you get somebody like Arc System Works, but yeah, unfortunately,
it would be really cool. But yeah,
I mean, we got Skull Girls, and that shit was pretty fun. So I don't know why like something like Madoka Magica as a fighting game wouldn't work. I don't know. Maybe the bigwigs are afraid.
Like I'm sure on paper it could work. I literally can't imagine them being like, all right, guys, so we made this a second mobile game. We have Walpurgis Nacht Rising out. We're also going to make a sick fighting game. There's no world. As much as I'd want it.
No, we're getting we're getting Hunter Hunter.
I would pin myself down and try to learn its mechanics as someone that doesn't play fighting games if they made a Madoka Magica fighting game, but it won't happen.
Yeah, dude, I would be day one in there. I'd be like, Mihara, come fight me in this, and she'd be like, what? Wow. What about you, Sherm? Would you play a Madoka Magica fighting game by Arc System Works?
By Arc System Works only, because they won't make it a fucking arena fighter.
No, I feel like that's what this mobile game is going to be. It's going to be like a pseudo JRPG, and it's like, oh, do you want to do an all-out attack? Go ahead. Oh, you need gems. Like, okay. Fuck out of here. I feel like that's what a lot of these gacha games are. It's like, oh, attack. Oh, but you don't got any gems. I hate them. Like, I install those games. I think it was Pirate Software I was watching a video from, and he was like describing the type of like gacha games he respects, and he was like, yeah, the like or like ad revenue, like how some games do ad like revenue or ask for your money, and he was like, I respect these ones, but I don't respect these ones, and I had to give it to him. I was like, oh, same, dude. That dude speaks facts. He looks like he's 30 though. Apparently he's like in his 40s. Did not see that.
Well, fair enough.
Well, I was just saying. Okay, a manga I've been reading, I'm caught up with. It's going on hiatus. It's kind of sad. It's not ecchi per se, but it is like a harem. It's the one where the dude goes to like that school and he's the only guy there. And he's like, he wants
scenarios, huh?
Yeah, and he wants to be like he wants to make clothes because he loves making clothes. He's a tailor, and as you can kind of see right here, he has like the two girls. Kuzuhana, she's the first heroine introduced. It's named after her, but I think I've brought this up before. I kind of want to show you guys. Let me just get the name.
Well, while you're looking this up, so how is that buddy of yours coming along with our avatars?
Oh, so I asked him if he could like what do you call it? I asked him if he could like do one of all of us kind of sitting together. like at a table, kind of, plotting. And then I told him like, then I also said like, make our make separate avatars, and then make one where we're all kind of sitting together. And he thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
He
I
said
like
he's
that
gonna
idea.
be a little, yeah. He said he's kind of doing some other work. He's got some other work, but he tries to get like ours in whenever he can. And I also asked him like, what's your social stuff so I can credit you? And he was like, oh, I don't really have anything right now, but I'll give you a link later.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Oh.
having a photo of all of us as like a banner for like Twitter or whatever would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, and then like I think a cool one would also be like and like you as a skull man with long hair and shades, Sherm's avatar, and then Mike Monjo just all sitting around plotting about anime. I thought that'd be a pretty funny image.
Yeah, I like the sound of it.
So these are the covers. Like you can kind of see like you know what's drawing you in.
I'm noticing a pattern here.
Yeah.
There's certain things that definitely stick out.
Don't worry,
Oh.
it's not etchy though.
So it's not primarily focused on the ecchi, but there
No,
is some in there.
Mm.
Yeah, look at this. Look at cover 10. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to the tags and see if etchy's on there.
By the way, on cover 8, the mom is on top of the daughter.
Okay, Jose,
right,
what's the story about?
So it's about right here, the beginning of the academic year. Satome Hadoka enrolls in this high school, former all-girl school that had recently integrated, but discovers that he is the male. He's the only male, so 1 to 359 girls. While most might think this is a paradise, the majority of the students are delinquents, and Satome immediately finds himself being extorted by some of the more aggressive girls. Yeah, it says, however, inadvertently he's saved by what is it, Hanako Kazuyura, a beautiful delinquent who just wants to be left alone. Is this the start of a new friendship? How will Satome's life unfold? By the way, this is it's 217 chapters. So
Yeah,
all
gotta
these
love
girls
how
on these covers,
gotta
they
love
like
how
him.
the teachers and everything allowed only one guy in there, and they're like, "Yeah, that's fine, that's okay." Honest
Oh,
mistake.
he just wants to make his clothes. That's cool. So this girl right here tried to extort him at one point by
Oh.
by putting him in a compromising situation, taking a photo of it,
Oh,
and
that's
was gonna
classic, yeah.
she was gonna blackmail him, but
Unless you do
this
what I
is
say.
when, yeah, and then he saved this one from like, because she was doing the sugar daddy thing, but not actually like doing anything with them, and she was apparently naive on the concept. Apparently, that's what the manga said.
Okay.
She didn't know that they were gonna try and like want it. So when like one of them tried to push for it, he saved her, and like, yeah, this is like them all kind of falling for him. Even the one that tried to extort him all start falling for him, and yeah, he's pretty oblivious to it. That good old, oh, what? They can't possibly like me.
Now here's the question: is he going to date all 359 girls?
Unfortunately not. The one
Not
over here,
interested.
the one over here on the left, her name is like Nekomi or something like that. She's got zero interest in him. She's in love with this girl who is then in love with him. Yeah, there's a lot of girls.
Yeah, probably.
But according to this, he's going on hiatus because of some health issues apparently he's been having. Health issues and manga creators, dude, they go like hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly, dude. I still can't believe this has not gotten an anime adaptation. It would be 100% up all the horny Salems of the world. So
Specific. Okay.
hey, I'm just saying that's what we're calling it, the horny Salems of the world.
Oh, I see. Okay.
We've
Well, I mean,
we've all had a horny Salem era.
well, some of us are still in theirs.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
I feel
not
like I
me.
never got out of mine. I just look for the quality stuff.
Quality.
Oh, what about you, Sherm? Have you exited your horny Salem era?
Is there anything in this that's actually good, or is it
In
just
this-
like?
Yeah.
Is it just
Yeah.
like? Is it just like compromising situations where we're gonna hint at it, but we're not gonna do anything?
So, like this manga specifically, it's like some of it is compromising situations. Some of them is like, they do that classic, oh, she falls over, he gets like a face full of panties, that kind of thing. Some of it is like full on just, if it's just the girls without Satome, it's just full on like big booties and big titties. Like that's what you're gonna get, but like no nudity. So
Okay, so there's not. You've been reading 250 odd chapters of nothing.
it's a slice of life. It kind of goes with their like we get like a what do you call it, like you know, like the one where they like hold a like festival,
Oh,
whole
the school
festival arc.
festival? Yeah.
Yeah,
The sports festival, that's the one.
yep, he had a training arc once. We had like a showdown arc because the Kuzuhana girl is apparently like a martial artist. We
Where
had like
where where's this going?
it's
Is
just
there
kind of
I already, man, Jose, when you were explaining what the manga was, I knew Sherm was just like, this isn't for me.
yeah.
I could
Well,
feel it.
okay. So it's basically just like it's really great art. It's, you know, really good looking characters. And yeah, that's the reason I go in is because it's one, it's funny, and then second, the harem aspect of it isn't in your face, but all the girls are kind of in love with him. So it is what it is. I mean, it's a decent one. I gave it a 7 altogether. I started reading back when it was at like 60 chapters, and I've just reading since. So that's why I'm caught up.
So, Sherm, so do you just generally not like slice of life comedies, or is it just because of the kind of etchy but doesn't go the full way type of deal?
you can't have it both ways. Like if you want to have a slice of life, that's fine. But like I need to be there and not be constantly like it's shoved in your face, but also we're not actually gonna do anything.
Oh, you don't like it when they edge you?
No, it's fucking pointless and boring. Like this would be like watching High School DxD all over again, except probably with a better story. Because let's be honest, High School DxD has a shitty story.
Yeah,
It's
honestly,
just
I like this one. The story is pretty. The story is not the greatest, but it keeps me in. And the characters, I like all of them. Like they're all pretty like likable characters. There's not one I dislike. But
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't seem
Oh,
like there's anything here for me.
No, I definitely get it. It's not like it knowing you, this definitely is not something you'd like, but I have enjoyed reading this. So it is a little sad that he, you know, is taking a hiatus due to his health. Now, given the art that he draws, I am 100% like, yeah, I'm surprised he didn't fucking croak earlier. So considering like how good sometimes the art can be. It's kind of like that Black Yaru School one. Imagine that, but weekly. So
That's a great example. Is I went in because the premise seemed good, and then it went nowhere for like I don't know. I probably read like 3 chapters, and I was just like, nope, never mind, I'm out of here.
yeah, it's the exact same thing, except the Black Yaru School one is like just explicitly in your face, like titties and ass, and you know, that you're getting boners. But this one is like more reeled in, I guess you could say. But he doesn't. He won't shy away from like a panty shot or two. So yeah, and you know,
you are drawing the grayest line I've ever seen. I don't understand the difference.
Well,
you're like, oh, he's constantly being put in compromising situations.
No, not always. There are compromising situations, but it's not to the degree of Black Yarosko where every page is a compromising situation. We'll get like a compromising situation maybe like once or twice.
I do get
Chapter.
what you're saying, Jose. I do understand what you're saying. It really doesn't seem like this would be Sherm's cup of tea, though.
Yeah, he's already said that. I'm just saying, like bringing this up, I was just kind of like, you know, I hope he gets better. I hope he, you know, his health goes back to where he needs to be so he can continue the manga. I have enjoyed this. I will probably read it to the end. Another one that is on hiatus right now due to their health is the Pushing Over Magical Girls manga artist. His manga's been on hiatus for like even before the anime started. So
Good God.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like, has he updated anyone at all about his health, or?
All I know is that he's still in recovery, and he is not continuing as of right now. So
That's a good chunk of time, man.
Mm-hmm. The other one that's on hiatus right now is Ghost Reaper Girl. He's the dude that did the Rosario Vampire manga. His is on infinite hiatus. It's not technically canceled. So yeah, seems like being a manga artist seems like a very dangerous occupation if I'm being serious, if I'm talking for real. So, but they bring us some good stuff. All right, last one. Sherm, you brought me something pretty cool this week. Would you like to talk about it?
Yeah. So Wizards of the Coast, and this was leaked like a month ago, I think. Somebody took some like sketchy shots of like cards rubber banded together, and we were all like, they looked real, so we were all pretty sure this was gonna happen. But Wizards of the Coast announced a new secret lair. The idea of the secret lair is it's like you can buy a set of them. It's like 4 or 5 cards for a certain amount of money. They're like cards with new art, like special foiling process that they do. And then in some of their more recent secret lairs, they either print, I think this is is called Universes Beyond specifically. So this would be like characters out of the Magic the Gathering universe. So, for example, Marvel in this case.
$40 to $50.
Yeah, they did a Fallout set. They did a Doctor Who set.
Well, the Fallout set and Doctor Who, I don't know if those had secret layers. I know they were made into Commander products.
Oh, that's my bad. I just meant like to hop on the Universes Beyond concept.
Yeah, they've been doing this for a decent amount of time, probably since the last time I stopped playing was when like the Transformers stuff originally came out. I think they were just Hasbro brands at the time, so it was like Transformers, My Little Pony. There was probably another one that I can't think of, but they've recently expanded to like getting other companies in. So the only cards that are new are the like face cards of each different secret layer. So you have Tony Stark, you have Storm, you have Wolverine, Black Panther, and there's one more that I can't remember, I think. So basically these are unique cards. They're new cards. They're not like new art on old cards. So all these are pretty unique. I don't know. They look cool.
They do look cool. I want to get one. Where can I get these? I'm trying to look to see where I can go.
You can order these on the Wizards website when they become available. I think it's like November. Yeah, November 4th. The problem with most of these secret layers is they are first come, first serve. So if you
for real?
Yeah, if you can't get one on the website, you gotta buy it secondhand, and that's, people are
Even more expensive.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you think our man Rob would hold any of these?
I doubt it.
I wonder.
You could ask him and he could try to get some, but honestly, normal people that want to like get these secret layers usually have trouble like ordering because they'll be there the minute the site opens and they'll all be sold out by the time they get to their purchase.
So you're saying so you're saying like scalpers or like, the people who like scalpers. Yep. People who like buy these up just to resell them. Those are the people buying these right now.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you buy them all out, you can resell them for more. So
God, that fucking sucks, dude. I'd really love some of these. I don't care for the Iron Man set, and I don't care for the Captain America one, but I would love like Storm, Wolverine, and Black Panther. Those look so sick.
Yeah, Storm's definitely the one that I'm the most interested in. She gives all after she attacks, the next spell you cast there's a magic ability called Storm or a keyword. It basically says for every other spell that was cast before this, you make a copy of this card with Storm on it. Very, very flavorful for the lady that controls the weather.
Having
I like the
card Lightning Bolt is fantastic.
Yeah, the Lightning Bolt one looks great. The Aurora Borealis, I think that's a funny one. That's a nice play on words.
Ice Storm's very famous. This is the first time that card's ever been reprinted. Very old card.
Oh, it's the first time it's been reprinted, really?
Yep.
Damn.
The Storm.
Wait, so are these cards that already exist, but they're just putting Storm in it?
Correct, except for Storm. Except for Storm herself, she's a new card, and all the other face cards of the set.
Oh, okay. So which one, like Aurora Borealis or the Storm Force of Nature? Which one were you saying is like original?
Storm Force of Nature is original. Like you see under Aurora Borealis how it says Manamorphose.
Oh yeah.
And then under Storm's Will, it says Jessica's Will. Those are the actual names of the cards, and Lightning Bolt and Ice Storm are both actual Magic cards, but they just use Storm's art.
Okay, cool. That's pretty cool. I didn't even think of. I didn't even see that. Okay, that's pretty cool. I would like that one, Captain America's Aid. That's supposed to be
Sigarda's Aid.
Okay.
Well, I will say if you have the disposable income, and whenever these come out, I hope that you can get your hands on one if you end up wanting to buy them.
Yeah,
I definitely do want one too for collectors purposes, but
Tony Stark's Soul Ring's gonna be real expensive. The card's very popular.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Soul Ring?
Okay.
Yeah.
The Arc Reactor Soul Ring's gonna be a lot, I would imagine.
Okay. Iron Man, Titan of Innovation. Okay.
Oh, and then the Secret Layer bonus card. Apparently, for every $200 you spend on this, they'll send you one of these arcane signets or Earth's mightiest emblem.
So you're saying all I got to do is spend $200. All right, got you.
You get that for free. Wizards of the Coast will just put a free card in there for you.
Yeah, just
Hell
don't think
yeah.
about the first number.
If I remember correctly as well, in these secret layers they have bonus sheets, so there's going to be additional cards that they don't like show you, but will be included. Like I think on the Miku secret layer there was also a Snapcaster Mage that was not originally shown and was on the bonus sheet. So there'll be more cards. There'll be art that comes out later when people open these and find their bonus sheet cards.
I was kind of thinking, imagine if they had used like already existing artwork, like the Rob Liefeld Captain America.
That actually would be pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Actually,
His awful chest.
As much as I don't really care about Captain America, I would love to own a card with this art on it.
the only thing I'll say that I really think is cool besides Storm is Captain America's ability is very flavorful. He if he had Captain America First Avenger.
Oh, okay.
So if he has an equipment, you can unattach it like he's throwing his shield and hit like 1, 2, or 3 targets for some amount of damage.
That actually is pretty good.
And then he catches it like when your next turn starts. I think that's well done.
Oh yeah, for flavor, that's actually really good.
I was gonna say that's funny. That's cool.
Magic does a pretty good job in terms of flavor. Maybe not always hitting on like how strong cards are, but I think they do a pretty decent job. But like Wolverine's cool too. I think he doubles all damage he does. The adamantium
Berserk. Right.
Yeah, Berserk's a good card to reprint in the Wolverine one.
And putting a regenerate on Wolverine's pretty good too.
True, didn't see that.
Wait, where's that?
Oh, so if you look at Wolverine, the creature, you'll see on the bottom there's like a tree symbol and a 1. It says regenerate Wolverines right there.
Oh, okay. The next time he would be destroyed this turn. I can't read that.
Instead, tap him, remove him from combat, and heal all damage on him. Very flavorful for a Wolverine card.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. That's cool. Oh, man. I really want to get my hands on one of these. Like, at least a Wolverine, a Storm, and a Black Panther. I could, like I said, I'll take or leave Captain America and Iron Man.
Dude, I genuinely hope that if you have the opportunity, you can get your hands on one. But if not, like Sherm said, you'd probably have to buy from a, secondary seller, and Lord knows what they're going to charge.
Yeah.
I'm already dropping $40 for just like 4 cards. I'm not like that's where I'm just kind of drawing the line. Like I've spent $20 on like a Magic booster pack before, and I'm like, was this really a good financial decision?
Oh, you probably bought one of the collector boosters they do now.
Oh, see, I wouldn't know.
So specifically in the Storm one, Jessica's Will or Storm's Will and Ice Storm, those are both like value cards, pretty expensive. Like probably before this reprinting got announced, they were probably higher, and they'll probably still hold a lot of their value. So I think that one will be good, and then the Tony Stark one will probably be good because of the Soul Ring. Most of these other ones though, like the Wolverine stuff. Oh, the Wolverine has the Ozolith in it. If you scroll down, it's like adamantium bonding tank.
Oh, this one right here?
Yeah, the Ozolith, the magic card is pretty expensive, so that one will still probably also hold value. So these are decent value for what you pay because the cards are worth it.
I really hope we can get like a DC one too. That would be super cool. I think it would have to be like, I think DC would maybe be the one where I go like, oh, this card looks so good, I might have to drop $100 on one card. That would be like the only compromise I'd do. It would only be like Batman or Superman or I'd say like Darkseid, maybe. Those would be the only card. Yeah, only characters I'd probably drop.
The only thing I'll say is like I have a feeling that Hasbro is really feeling it right now. So they're probably throwing these offers out to anyone that will listen. Supposedly there were leaks that we might be getting a Final Fantasy secret layer at some point, like either late this year or early next year.
Really?
So, yeah, I mean, they just toss a bone to any fucking I mean, look how good you don't know, but the Lord of the Rings set really did well for them. Like probably both.
I wanted to get some, but I couldn't find any.
Yeah, so like that did well, probably both for whoever holds the fucking Lord of the Rings license and Hasbro. So I feel like if they make popular stuff, people will buy it, and it'll be good for both companies.
Yeah, dude. Now, what do we think about Madoka Magic? Oh, it's there in the name.
It would be incredible.
I would love it. I'd want everything. So I'm kind of happy they haven't yet. Wouldn't be good for the
It's
lore.
right there. The money's right there.
Yeah,
It's literally right there. It's like $1 million idea.
I mean, there's a reason why they're doing all these collabs, man. They did one for Warhammer, Doctor Who, like I said previously. Like there's a good chunk.
yeah.
Amico one, I remember. Yeah.
I feel like over the years we will definitely get like some more niche stuff. Like I don't know, I'd see them collaborating with like more video games, and once they have Marvel,
Dragon Ball.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like Dragon Ball's only a matter of time.
They did Assassin's Creed.
The only thing I'll say about Dragon Ball and One Piece is Bandai owns them, and Bandai also makes their own card games. So,
Oh, true. They'd have to strike up some kind of deal.
I mean, they could
Be
do
like,
it.
okay,
I'm not
yeah.
saying it's never gonna happen, but I feel like it's less likely to happen. Meanwhile, Marvel's like, yeah, fucking make our characters into your weird card game. Sure.
Sure, we don't care as long as you don't, make them weird. So, I mean, these are really cool. I hope to like snag one or two of these at least. God, it'd be so cool.
November 4th. Mark the date in your calendar.
I will. I'm gonna do it after this.
Is that X13?
Yep, X23.
X23? I knew what it was called.
Hey, you were 10 off, but hey, you were close.
The only thing I know about X13 is X23 is from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool.
So
Yeah, she's a cool character. She's supposed to be like a clone of Wolverine,
yeah,
but like not like in like Logan they were like, oh, that's your daughter, but in the comics she's just been like a genetic clone with like lots of other people thrown in. I think it's been a while. She might have been retconned too. Who knows? All right, so
you have the adamantium claws.
yeah, so she has two that come out of like her fists, and then one that comes out of her foot.
Oh yeah, that's right. She has two. I hated that.
Oh, apparently the one that comes out of her foot is because of like her gender. I don't know how that works. I didn't write it. I didn't write it.
We did it, guys. We achieved gender equality.
So
Put a blade.
all right, so
that'll do it.
So we promised it. Well, I promised this. For the last few weeks, I had been showing you guys snippets of a movie, and I was like, "We'll watch this, guys. We'll get to it." We finally got to it. Drum roll, please, Salem. No, wait, his hands are full.
Yeah.
All right. We finally watched Transformers 1, or Transformers Uno, as I like to call it. So, I know, Salem, you were a little miffed after thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, originally I gave it a 7, but the more I think about what happened in it, it's just a 5. That's what I've settled on.
Are we down to a 4 yet?
No, just a 5.
Just
like,
What about you, Sherm?
It's a 6. 6 for me.
Honestly, I really enjoyed this. I think if I had been like a kid, this would be like one of my favorite movies. I'm gonna give it just like I'm gonna be very generous and give it a 7. There's a lot wrong with it, but I think there was potential, and I think that's what's making me so gracious. So, do we want to talk about who wants to break down the story for us? Spoilers, no spoilers, it doesn't matter. Let's just get into it.
You're probably
phenomenal.
this. What?
Would you like to explain the story?
Okay, so basically
Minors.
the story opens, right?
Mhm.
Hear me out. Primus created Cybertron. Are you following me
We're
so far?
starting there.
Yeah, why not? Primus created Cybertron,
Mhm.
and then there are all these dudes. We'll call them primes. They're basically like gods. Is that correct?
They're just like really strong dudes.
All right, whatever. So, the movie opens on Orion Pax and his boy D something. I don't remember the number.
D16.
D16, yup.
Okay, so the movie opens on these two. They're mining for Energon because we need the Matrix of Leadership to give the planet back its Energon, because that's what the people of this world run on. Cybertron. So they're mining for Cybertron, Energon. Fuck, all these words sound the same.
Yeah, they do.
They're mining for Energon. They're waiting to hear if Sentinel Prime returns from the surface where he's looking for the Matrix of Leadership. At some point, there's a weird vehicle / foot race, I guess. I don't know what that was for. I'm
Those
gonna
for the
be
fans,
It was
man.
a fun, wacky adventure for everyone to enjoy.
yeah, like, but why? Why was it there? What did I need it for? I'm not
Good question.
sure. So
It
we
effectively didn't amount to anything, really.
He has a point.
We engage in wacky hijinks for a minute, and then Sentinel Prime has returned, and he sees the bravery these two mining bots have shown in this race. You know what? Thinking more about it now, why did Sentinel Prime give anyone their transforming thing? Like, why did he not just strip them all and make them all mine? Why does he have two classes of fucking robots? None of this makes any sense.
You're right. None of it makes sense. I think that's why I'm being so generous, is because the story was absolutely just nothing. The story, honestly, was so bare bones. I think it's on par with a Michael Bay Transformers movie of this doesn't matter.
Also,
The narrative, anyways.
So he was gonna like treat them well by sending him to his private service like sphere or whatever, and then Darkwing just like is pissed at them and throws them in the fucking brink or like in the incinerator, and then they're like, all right, we have to escape, and then they escape and they're like, I don't know, let's go to the surface and look for the Matrix of Leadership, right? Like this all happened, but why weren't they gonna try and talk to Sentinel Prime again to be like, yo, Darkwing's an asshole and threw us in here, can we still like, I don't know.
Well, I will say, so when they were thrown in the waste disposal area, I believe is where they met B1 something or another, effectively.
Oh yeah,
I don't
too much. Too many numbers.
I
got
got
you,
that
homie.
character.
I
That
got
character doesn't exist.
Oh yeah, they meet a robot. So Bumblebee tells them that he knows of one way to get to the surface outside of the waste disposal, and it's on a train.
Yeah.
And apparently, the train is supposed to like not work with any like life forms, I believe is what he says. That effectively doesn't mean anything. So Bumblebee, D16, and Orion Pax all get on this train, and they meet up with the character Alita, who ended up getting demoted because apparently Orion is this high energy, rebellious, uncareful dude, apparently.
Yeah.
So she doesn't like him, and as soon as they see each other on this train, they all like start chasing after her because she's going to report them and get a promotion again to get out of there. And they end up on the surface, which apparently was where this train was going to. And then that's when they end up getting chased by something, and it throws them off the train. And they start trying to navigate, I assume, for a way back to their city, which is underground. And they end up encountering the Quintessons, and they realize, oh, these train cars that are going to the surface are carrying Energon, effectively. And there's a trade going on between the Quintessons, who have been waging war against the Cybertronians. And apparently there was a deal between Sentinel Prime and the Quintessons to, I guess, leave him alone and rule the planet. And that's the deal. They give the Quintessons Energon in exchange. Something like that.
Yeah. And did we get any hint of this major threat? Nope, we didn't get told anything about this major threat. Instead, it was a tussle between Sentinel Prime and the lowly guys.
Oh, we get a little taste of the Quintessons, and that's about it. They kind of.
Did you like getting edged by the Quintessons?
Oh, it's my favorite. I was telling the boys as we were watching the movie, like the Quintessons take on a variety of different forms, but the most iconic one, and I don't think anyone's going to disagree, is the Quintesson Judge, the five-faced floating guy with the tentacles. We didn't see anything like that. It was like crab dudes, and then one guy that had some tentacles and was like a monster man. That's all we saw. We didn't see the Judge. The ships looked different too, I noticed, but that's kind of whatever. But I just thought it was bizarre to bring in the Quintessons again and not show like an iconic form of them. I thought that was a little weird. But yeah, the Quintessons are just effectively out of the story once it's revealed that there's a deal going on between Sentinel Prime, the effective leader of Cybertron, and their enemy, the Quintessons. We just never see them again. They're just out of the movie.
Man, it kind of reminds me of Transformers 5 when Quintessa shows up for a minute and then
Oh, my heart.
and then we never continue that franchise.
Oh, my heart. Yeah, Quintessa. It's like, man, just use what's there, dude. I don't know. But
By the way, that movie was supposed to have that movie apparently had a writer's room. So lots of people came up with that.
yeah, they're like, well, we could use established enemies, or we could just make our own thing. And it's like, all right, whatever, dude.
Ooh, what should we do?
But yeah, the Quintessons effectively fuck off. We never see them. And then upon this revelation from D16, who, as everyone would realize off the bat, is the soon-to-be Megatron, he just is losing his shit. And you know what? Understandably so, because his worldview of Sentinel Prime being this upstanding model leader who's brave and everything was shattered. He found out that he's been lying the whole time. He's a dick. And you know what? Fair enough. But my problem is that upon this revelation and for the rest of the film, it just feels like his anger is so extreme to the point where he's brushing off his like longtime friend Orion Pax, like just completely, just shoving him off his shoulder, just saying a lot of worrying things about wanting to kill Sentinel and rip him apart or some other such shit. And like,
It's like
the film, he just doesn't care about him, and just like,
yeah, he's like, there was a point where he was like, you guys want to scurry in these little caves, go ahead and do that, but you want to like run with a absolute unit, come with me. And he like choked Starscream for a minute, and then he's like, everyone's like, yeah, D16. I was like, man, you guys switched up fast.
oh yeah, dude. So at some point after D16 Megatron, dude, I'll just call him Megatron from now on.
Yeah, call him Megatron.
So when Megatron gets this revelation, he's getting pissed or whatever. They end up getting knocked out and brought to the Royal Guard or the High Guard, something like that, like their secret base on the surface. And then we get shown Shockwave, Soundwave, Starscream, some of the Seekers, and they just have their own group, and they're like, we hate Sentinel, understandably so. We want to screw over his whole operation. We know about this deal because obviously the general population don't know about this. So they're trying to get stuff figured out and fight back. And Megatron just like railroads Starscream in their fight because Starscream says the only thing that matters in leadership is who's the strongest and all this other stuff and whatever. So Megatron bodies him, and he just
like a
says
punk.
to all of them, yeah, like a punk. Which, to be fair, Starscream is not necessarily known for his strength. So he gets bodied, and Megatron just is like, I'm your leader now, and everybody's like, yeah, okay. And then they just go with him. Like,
Oh yeah, everybody
there's
was
no real
like,
pushback.
oh, for sure.
Yeah, everybody there is like, the strongest is the best. The biggest, baddest orc is the leader. So
Did you think it was funny, or did you like when like everybody's going D16 and there's that slow-mo music kind of going, the sad ethereal, like, and Megatron like looks back in slow-mo and they're doing a slow-mo pan on Orion Pax or Optimus Prime, and
he's changed.
it was like such a weird, like, it's not weird, like I get it, like Orion, like, oh, D16, he's becoming Megatron. It's like, well, yeah, he's gonna be like, that's Megatron. This shouldn't come as a surprise unless you're bringing literal 5-year-olds who have never seen a Transformers before.
See,
Like
that's the thing too. Like, maybe for first-time watchers, this would be better if they don't really know much about like origin stuff for Transformers. Because the Quintessons, at least if we're talking about G1 Transformers, the Quintessons made the Cybertronians to effectively be slave labor.
Yeah.
Like, they designed them into two different factions, which the Autobots generally, I believe, were like the physical workers, manufacturing, that type of thing, right? Mining, probably. And then the Decepticons were the military force that the Quintessons designed to wage fights against, I assume, other life forms, right? So that was their origin, and then they gained sentience, they realized what was going on wasn't right, and then they fought back against the Quintessons, chased them off world, and then there we go. Then we have like the Cybertronian race doing what they do.
Right. And I get that this is a new universe. This is a new lore that they're establishing. I get that because the IDW comics that I was reading, the IDW like comics that I do have Megatron as a minor at first, and then Orion Pax as kind of like a scholar, and then I didn't get enough books because they started jumping in value, so I didn't continue reading it. But I do remember that they had their own things kind of going on. So I understand that there's different lores, different universes. Every kind of iteration of Transformers is going to be a little bit different than others. So I get that. But this one was just like it felt short, but also felt like felt short, but also felt a little long. I don't know if you guys felt that way.
Oh, well, I mean, that's what gets me about it too, is like I have no issue with, origin stories being like, altered or what have you, right? I don't really care all that much, but it's just like in this story specifically, Transformers 1 or Transformers Uno, you know what I mean?
Transformers Uno, yeah.
Given the version we watched, it just felt like I understood Megatron's motivation of being angry and having a vendetta against Sentinel Prime, but like it just felt really rushed and just like he's becoming a villain. You know what I mean? It's not like from his perspective, I can understand him being pissed and wanting to, kill Sentinel Prime, lock him away, whatever. I get that. But like literally Megatron is full out like my best bud, Orion Pax. I want essentially nothing to do with you. You're a reckless dick, and I'm done saving you, was one of the lines he said near the end of the film too, which I just was like, okay, sure, bud.
Okay, like sure.
He's acting like they were never friends, is the read I'm getting. Like they feel more like acquaintances now than actual like buds, like they were playing them in the first half,
Yeah, and then like their friendship I felt like was pretty like, they did a couple fist bumps there,
Yeah, just a couple. Yeah. But
oh yeah, they did a couple fist bumps.
like I need a little bit more fleshing out to justify to me that Megatron would just throw away their friendship like he did and become a super bad guy. Like he was just blowing up buildings near the end, saying that he needs to crush every one of Sentinel Prime's followers, as he put it. And it's like, well, okay, well, what does that mean? You mean like everyone that was living in Cybertron, like that didn't see what you saw, like the truth, because they had his subordinate, can't remember her name. There was like a recording of Sentinel Prime flat out admitting in cartoon villain fashion, right? That like,
yeah.
Yes, I ripped out the T-cogs of these miners, and I killed the primes and blah, blah, blah. And then everybody
the dialogue could basically be summed up to, I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, literally like, I'm the bad guy, I'm a liar, like that's basically what it meant. And it just Megatron flying completely off the fucking handle, like I just don't buy it how they portrayed him to be, you know what I mean? That angle could work, but it needs more time. Like this was just like go, and then in the end, like him
more time.
I need more time. Yes. And then they just like rushed like, okay, Megatron makes the Decepticons. We have the Autobots. The Decepticons are banished from Iacon. Like it needed more time. That's what it needed. It just felt like we need to hurry up and sum this up so people know that why there's two factions.
Do you think in the next one, if we get Transformers Ghosts, do you think we'll be fighting the Decepticons, or do you think we'll be fighting the Quintessons?
Well, if they even do make a sequel movie,
I'm sure they will.
I don't see why they wouldn't bring the Quintessons into this. Maybe then we'll see the judge. Or one of the judges, because there's a lot of them. But I don't know. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Because like if the pacing was this off in this film, trying to show the origin, right, of the Autobots and the Decepticons, I don't have a lot of faith in what they're going to put out there next. Because like, is the writing still going to be rushed for fleshing out other villains or what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I completely the whole Megatron turning just becoming the bad guy felt like, look, we know you guys are gonna want Megatron. We'll give you Megatron as soon as we can. It's like because they get Megatron and Optimus Prime in the beginning they act like they're such good friends that they'd never turn on each other, and that's what made me go, yeah, you guys are gonna heel step super hard, aren't you? And then they did. So that to me was like a little like, yeah, I saw where this is going. And then like, did you guys kind of see Sentinel Prime? He was acting all like giddy and all that, and I was like, yeah, that's the bad guy. And like he's gonna do a comical heel turn where he's like, I'm the villain, I'm the bad guy.
Well, we were all making fun of his look too with those dumb wings and
Yeah, and like gold
clearly
and blue.
just clearly being like a shady dude with like how he was acting, you know.
Also, like you got a spider henchman. Like, come on, you couldn't be further from a bad guy.
A spider henchman that had eyes running along the sides of her head too. It's like, okay, this is the help you got, huh?
And then, like, I don't know. Like, okay, what's one thing you really liked about this movie? Salem. I'll ask you first. What's one thing you really liked about it, despite all your grievances? What's one thing you really liked that would make you want to recommend this movie?
Well, before we get to that, I just want to ask real quick. So, did you guys have anything else that like turned you off from the film at all, or?
For me,
Yeah.
the story was the weakest part. Like, I was kind of barely holding my attention. What about you, Sherm?
Yeah, I don't like the fucking way the robots look. Robots
Fair
look
point.
fucking stupid.
They're too round, in my opinion. They need to be a little more stout, have sharp
Oh, yeah.
edges.
Like
No, I
Orion's face is kind of creepy.
I need a 14-year-old to draw these Transformers, give them some spikes and some edges on them.
Oh yeah. If you run into any of these fucking robots, you're about to get stabbed. Like they need some edges. They were all rounded. Did you guys notice that? Like even Megatron, he was like pretty rounded.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he definitely wasn't as angular as he would be in like G1, you know.
Yeah, they were all like super round, I guess round edged. No, whatever.
Kind of
Yeah.
child proofed, you know what I mean? Like we
Yep,
we gotta sand down those edges. You know, they might hurt
Yep.
somebody.
This would be the one time I go just give them them Tesla like curves with sharp edges. So I mean,
The designs could use some work, I'd agree.
I do like how he became Optimus at the end, but once again, yeah, he's not as sharp as I want him to be. I don't know if that's like Michael Bay kind of crawling into my brain and trying to be like, it's not as cool as mine. Because I'll say this, those designs are a little bit cool. Not the Decepticons, like I've said before, they all just kind of look like silver Doritos, but
Yeah, like the color wise, a lot of the Decepticons look kind of samey.
yeah.
But I will
like
give him
the
this, like whoever was
yeah.
working on making the Transformer like models and stuff for his films, I do like a lot of the designs that they have for those movies. It's just that the story's garbage.
Oh yeah.
But
Shia LaBeouf goes to what is it? Autobot Heaven.
oh yeah, he meets
he's-
with the Primes and
He's got the Matrix of Leadership in a sock.
yeah. Dude, that was another thing that bothered me. Like nobody likes Revenge of the Fallen, right? At least generally, I've never heard anyone go like, "Oh no, that was a good movie." It was weird to me that the Primes all looked the same.
Yeah, they were all the same.
Like they literally were. Like design wise, they were all the same except the Fallen had like red eyes or something.
Yeah.
That was pretty lame and just unimaginative. It's like the Primes all look very distinct from each other. But like
At least in
Onyx
this one.
Prime. Oh, I'm sorry.
At least like in Transformers 1, you're right. They all looked a little different. Onyx, Megatronus.
Yeah, like they all had like unique designs as they should, since they're like these mythical figures. You know, like they were the first like Cybertronians.
Yeah, and that was like I do like how they looked. At least like when they were in the like that final battle with Lawrence Fishburne, he was like, "Let me show you a flashback," and it's like how they were kind of fighting the Quintessons and all that, and then all of a sudden, Sentinel Prime kind of stabs them all in the back and beheads them and stuff. Like those designs looked pretty good, but it's like, how are those the only good designs? I liked how Lawrence Fishburne's Transformer. What was his name? I know you know it, Salem.
For Lawrence Fishburne,
He turned into the cheetah and then got kidnapped by the spider.
Alpha Trion.
Yep. I liked how he turned into like an animal, like a beast, more like a fuck. I'm blanking on the name right now.
It was very much like a something you'd see in Beast Wars.
Yep. Yes.
Or like Beast Machines. Like it was a giant cat mixed with like he had like a small unicorn horn or some shit on there.
Yeah,
like,
it
was goofy,
it
but like,
wasn't-
in a kind of cool way.
It wasn't a cheetah, but it looked like a cat, like Transformer. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
Now, did you guys think Sentinel Prime was too comically? I'm the bad guy. I did this. This is all me. Like, I felt like he was too cartoonish. Now I know this is a cartoon movie, but like, should we have toned it back a little? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I felt like he should have.
Sure.
Oh, okay. So
I don't know. But this is what I said earlier. It feels very paint by numbers and like fucking very safe. So I was not surprised. But I mean, what else are you gonna do?
that's true. Now I guess this is all to say, Sherm. Let me ask you.
What?
Did you enjoy or not enjoy? Could you have gone without ever seeing this movie?
I'm gonna be honest. It feels like Transformers, or not Transformers. What was that fucking other robot thing we watched? Fucking Terminator. Feels like Terminator.
Terminator,
I'll forget about this by tomorrow, probably.
I mean, honestly, give it a day or two, and I'll probably start forgetting as well. Like, if I was telling you guys during it, like, after we were discussing, like, if I had to watch it again, I wouldn't complain, but I'm not gonna like really enjoy myself. You know what I mean?
It's such a safe movie that I felt almost nothing by the end of it. It's just like, yep, this was like the most 6 out of 10 I've ever seen. Not bad, but man, there was nothing that like reminds me of fucking Thor: The Dark World, where I don't fucking remember what happened in Thor: The Dark World. I kind of enjoyed it when
All
I
we
watched
remember,
it.
all we remember is that there was red goo. That's about it.
That was the what, Reality Stone? Which stone was that?
The red one, yeah, that's probably the reality stone. Who
Power Stone?
remembers?
Yeah, I don't know.
First one I think was the purple one.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. But yeah, like this is such a forgettable movie. This is so safe, so like not trying to step on anyone's feelings. I feel nothing. If they
Which-
make another one, I wouldn't be opposed to watching it, but I probably won't get excited for it.
So, what would you have done different? Like, what would you have wished to have seen? Because I know that Salem was kind of like, and I know that you were kind of like, this will be a movie I will watch. So, like, is there anything you would have done different, or is there anything you were hoping would happen in Transformers? I know that you're not like a big Transformers fan, like me or Salem.
Yeah, you could have made this like 2 or 3 movies, and that would have been way better because you would have had time to pace out this like the split between the two, and like Megatron like fully like embracing his other darker side instead of just like trying to shoehorn it all into one movie.
Yeah, you're right. And kind of looking at the rating, because I was trying to the entire time figure out, are they trying to cater to like children, or are they trying to cater to like Transformers fans? Because this movie is rated, let me see here.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Well, I will say if they were trying to appeal to fans of Transformers, like I'm not an expert or anything. Like when I said that like the Primes were the first Cybertronians, I might be mixing continuities together from different stories. So take that with a grain of salt. I don't think that was the case in G1, but in any case, like with what I know, this was not a satisfying watch, especially when they're telling an origin of Transformers, and it feels like it was either rushed or that we could have spent time dicking around doing like the race or whatever and spent that like developing other characters or something. I don't know.
Now-
Extended Megatron's like fall to being the leader of the Decepticons.
It's my favorite joke that CinemaSins always makes, but that race was entirely just this movie thinks it has time for this. Like that,
Which is funny because, like, yeah,
you could have stuck anything in there. You could have actually like just gone straight from like they got arrested like while they were trying to sneak into the race. Okay, they gotta escape, go to the surface, boom, you save yourself like 10-15 minutes. You could have actually like developed the story from there instead of just, I don't know, we had this dumb race where they were fucking racing around a track and wacky stuff, and so that thing was weird.
Oh,
like
100%.
I wasn't paying the most attention to the movie, but like at that part I was like, did I fucking miss a line of dialogue that explained why we're doing this weird wacky race? And then you guys after the fact were like, no, they just, I don't know, they went to do the race, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Orion just really wanted to do the race.
yeah, he was like,
What was it? He
wanted
wanted
to
to go that
prove.
they have potential, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to prove himself.
Whatever
That's
that
what he
means.
said. He wanted to be like, miners are more than just mining. It's like,
God,
okay.
we can't use the word miners.
I know
And
it's
they say
spelled
it a lot.
M-I-N. I know it's spelled M-I-N-E-R-S. But sounds a little bit like Dr. Disrespect's favorite thing. So
Like saying the word.
should have changed it up.
Whatever.
Excavators.
Workers. I don't know.
The worker. Yeah, like
Let's see,
worker bots.
you could use the word digger, but that could also be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Um,
Just stick to like the he's a worker bot, something like that. A worker
Even,
farmer. I don't know.
even if you just added mining bot to the end of it, like bot to the end of it would have fixed that entire thing. Like the entire movie.
You're probably right.
Just like, what? Why do you keep referencing them as miners like over and over again?
So the movie
if
was
the internet
PG.
hadn't ruined that word, it would have been fine, but it did. So
True. So do you think this movie benefited or did not benefit? Do you think this movie would have benefited from like a PG-13 rating? Because this is PG. Do you think this should have like adhered to like the Michael Bay fans? Do you think this should have been more action packed?
honestly,
Like,
I don't think the rating really matters too much for this. Like, I didn't even know the rating when we went to like when we watched it together. Like, the rating could have stayed the same. They just spent too much time focusing on other things or rushing things when they ran out of time. Like, it's just pacing and writing. That's what it is to me.
and we had to have like the end of the movie be Optimus versus Megatron. Like we had to. It had to be there. Even though
Yeah.
this movie's like an hour and 20 something minutes, 30 something minutes. We had to get an Optimus versus Megatron at the end,
If they
which I
would've
saw
extended
coming,
it,
but
yeah, of course. Well, of course, yeah. I mean, if they made a film about the origin of it, I'm perfectly fine with them ending on why they separated into two different factions. I have no problem with that. But it's how they wrote it and what they chose to spend their time on. Like the race, I understand it's like goofy nonsense, I guess, but in terms of like what it gives to the story, it's really nothing other than Orion saying, "Oh, well, I want to prove that we have potential." Okay, but did it have to be like a race that lasted too long? You know, could
yeah.
have been something else. I don't know. But
taken from my favorite movie, Ready Player One.
You kept saying that. I have not seen that movie. Maybe that's one we should watch to kind of like dig apart, like tear apart, because I've heard that movie is pretty cringe. Directed by Steven Spielberg, of all people.
Not accurate to the book at all.
That's what I've heard.
I don't even know why
I
they made a movie. Like, if you
I,
made a
I heard in the book, did he have like a blow up doll, like a sex doll?
yeah,
Okay.
Jose, I love that that's like what you bring with it.
Well, I needed to make sure that this was correct,
Oh yeah, important info. Important.
accurate to the lore. Well,
I mean,
okay,
I've never
so
watched it either, so I mean, like, if you guys want to, I'm fine with that. But I haven't heard good things, of course. So
I haven't either. That's why I've never watched it. But if we're willing to watch it to tear it apart on this podcast, I have no issues, especially when it's like basically an animated movie. It's like half an animated movie, half a live action movie. Because when they're in the VR, it's animated.
Yeah,
I don't care what anybody tells me. That's an
I-
anime movie.
I would rather not spend my time watching Ready Player One again. We could
Okay.
watch anything else, and it would be worth more of our time.
I see.
We still got Sonic 2 to watch, so
Yeah, I would rather watch Sonic 2, and I don't even know what happens in Sonic 2. And that first Sonic movie was pretty whatever, but I'd rather watch either of those. You know what? Let's watch fucking Transformers 1 again instead of watching Ready Player One.
just watch 2007's Transformers with Shia LaBeouf.
I would rather watch Shia LaBeouf Transformers than watch Ready Player One again.
The thing is, too, is if you're
Whoa.
going to say, let's watch the original Shia LaBeouf Transformers movie, I'm not even going to fight you because I thought that movie was like fine for what it was.
At least the first one.
Yeah, like that's
the first
fine.
one's
Now,
fine.
if we go beyond the first one, that's where I'm going to start having problems. So
Once we get to like age of consent, we've really fell off the deep end.
yeah. Yeah, what was it? The Romeo and Juliet law? I think they cited. That man had a laminated copy of that.
Apparently, law does not apply. So it's more of a
It was
hey,
already a
this is a thing, but no one's gonna
regardless of,
listen to it.
real world accuracy. It was just the strangest inclusion that he could have thrown in for like the human element in Transformers. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a new set of people to work with the Autobots. Let's have a weird romance between the guy's daughter and the guy, and then age me. Like, why are we doing this?
By the way, remember there are more arguments and more Mark Wahlberg going, "Hey, you need to close your door." Like, why are you being a bumbler? Or like, if I sell this technology, I'm an inventor. Like Mark Wahlberg, shut up. I hate Mark Wahlberg, but
Yeah. For the
like,
for the listeners, if we haven't mentioned it, he very much hates Mark Wahlberg.
hey, stay prayed up. Anyways, that's something he said once. So, like, yeah, literally, once we get to like that type of transform, it's literally so idiotic, so stupid. I can't believe that movie made $1 billion. What a waste of everybody's time and money.
it's like it's the dumb action parts, man, and the fact that it says Transformers. I could see your average Joe being like, oh, that's probably pretty cool,
Like, oh, that was
regardless of
pretty
like,
cool. You see the robots?
yeah, you see them punching each other and 6 swords, and oh, that's Megatron. I know that guy.
You know what would have been cooler if you would have gone and watched Pacific Rim 2 and Pacific Rim, and they would have gave Guillermo del Toro more money to make Pacific Rim 2 instead of Pacific Rim Uprising. God,
Well,
what a wasted opportunity.
I would rather watch Pacific Rim 2 than watch Ready Player One again.
That's something we should all watch together.
dude, honestly, I'd be down to watch Pacific Rim or Pacific Rim 2.
I rewatched Pacific Rim like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Still good?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
gets
bet it
better
is.
with
I watch
time.
clips all the time. Yeah. So I guess kind of to end off here, if the Transformers Ghost comes out, what are you guys hoping for? What do you hope to see? More Optimus Megatron action?
I don't know that.
Quintessons?
Yeah,
Oh, wait, you're asking if there's a sequel? What would we want to see?
Yeah, well, there's inevitably going to be a sequel because
Oh, I
this
don't wanna
movie did
watch
make
it.
its money back.
I just don't.
Okay, but if you if you had to like kind of bring new, okay, so what I'm saying is like, what are you hoping to see in Transformers Ghost?
I would want them to say that the first one was a dream or a practical joke, and then they actually show like a well-paced version of explaining the origins. That's what I'd want. Like literally, there's nothing I would want for the sequel because the first one is so meh. So like yeah, if they had the Quintesson judges, right? Like yeah, I would be losing my mind because I love them. But or like Unicron, right? If they brought in Unicron, I would love that. But that like it doesn't make me feel better about the previous film. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Now, are you guys opposed to like watching the what is it called? The like OG 1986 like Transformers movie that is like a follow-up to the show, just like out of context, no show required?
oh, the film from 19.
Yeah.
The movie where they killed all the Transformers to sell more toys.
Yep, that one.
Yeah, I'd watch that any day. That's got my boy Unicron in it.
Sure.
Yeah. So I mean, if Transformer Dose ever comes out, we should watch that one just to kind of like review it, and then if Transformer Dose ever does come out, we can I guess make a council decision if we want to watch that. I know Salem, you're already didn't even want to bother with this first one. I know Sherm, you're kind of the same way. So yeah, if we ever get a second one, toss up.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, like, I'd be slightly interested, but like the problem is whatever I like about it is going to get weighed down by the previous film. So, and dude, the film from the 1980s has Unicron. It has the Quintessons in it. Like, it has everything I like. It's got a soundtrack.
So it's already like 10 times better than
than the Megatron,
the one we just watched.
Oh yeah, 100,000 times better, dude. We get to see Megatron and Optimus throw hands. We get to see like just a lot of cool stuff.
You mean Galvatron?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he becomes Galvatron later too. It's pretty cool.
So I mean, yeah, like I was not excited for this, but I'm glad I did watch it. Now I can't say I'm happy I watched it. I'm glad I watched it because I can at least say like, you want to watch a Transformers thing? Watch the old 80s movie or watch Transformers 1 from Michael Bay, but you don't really have to bother with this one. I was hoping this would be like a reboot to like excite people into the franchise, but this could not be anything more than this could have been like a special for Transformers Prime, in my opinion, or even like a prequel movie to that, if I'm being honest.
Oh man, if this was a special for Transformers Prime, this would have been infinitely better, dude, because the backstory they have for Megatron and Optimus is just better.
Yeah.
Like
So
there's like literally going into like their lives and what the origins were and why Megatron formed a grudge against Optimus and the Council, I believe at the time. Like it's just infinitely better.
yeah. So I think they probably should have just kind of done a reboot of Transformers Prime and kind of went from there, but it's too bad we probably will never get that universe again.
Yeah, listeners, watch
but
Transformers Prime. It's really good.
Yeah. Watch Transformers Armada. Honestly, that's a good Transformers. That's a way better use of your time.
Yeah, Armada's
Kind of long, but
there's a lot of
yeah.
good ones, man. There's a lot of good ones.
But unfortunately, this one not worth the Transformer. Like honestly, if you have the patience and the time to watch Gen 1 Transformers, do that over this, because this one is a little boring, it's like too Hollywood, you know what I mean? Like it was too like glossy, like kind of it tried too much to look good, but it didn't say anything at all. We got the characters to the point where they needed to be like, but at what cost? Because I don't care, you know? Yeah.
I would not recommend this to people that are interested in Transformers. I'd say watch the shows. If you're interested in comics, check out the comics, kind of get a feel for it. Like that's just a way better use of your time, in my opinion, than just watching this if you're curious about Transformers, because it's just so meh. I don't think it's a
Same.
good rewrite of the origin of Transformers. I just don't think it's that good.
I'm 100% with you on that. So, I mean, we'll end off the Transformers talk here. Real quick, off pod, we'll talk about like what we can do for next week. But let's update people. Sherm, you said you've been on your Breaking Bad grind. How's that?
Good.
Tell us what's happened so far.
I don't have time to tell you.
Clue the people in. Who's been introduced? Any new people?
No, not really. I mean, all the characters are still there.
Okay.
What time is it right now?
It's almost 3
That could be
o'clock.
3.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So this is what I'm saying. We'll wrap it up. But any updates you want to give? Any media you've been watching?
I watched Breaking Bad. I watched the last episode of One Piece before the hiatus, and I watched caught up on Dan to Dan.
Sick. Feel that. What about you, Salem? Still Shangri-Laing?
I did watch a couple more episodes of it. Still good. I don't really have any complaints, to be honest with you. I am surprised I'm enjoying the show as much as I am. But my building my PC and other life things has taken time from me, so I haven't watched any other shows really.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I did 6 days this week. A couple of 312s back to back.
You love to hear it, huh?
I was very tired, so I didn't get to do much. Plus, I was doing a lot of trading this week, so it was not fun. But other than that, yeah, I've caught up on Dan to Dan as well. I've been loving it so far. The animation looks good. I will be so sad if we get a Uzumaki like by the end. I will be very upset. I think I will be the biggest Dan to Dan hater, and I will tell people just go read the manga. I'll just tell people to steer clear. But yeah, I've been loving it myself as well. Really good.
Good.
Other than that, I mean, that's it. I mean, shit. Let's hop off and go about our daily lives. You guys got anything else to say before we sign off?
No, if anything, I've been yapping too much about Transformers, so
I love to yap about Transformers, but this was not it, Chief. Let's bring that one back. Not it, Chief.
Yeah.
What about you, Sherm? Anything to say before we pop off?
Nope.
All right. Love to hear it. All right. Well, I've been Jose, aka Monjo. You can, if you have any questions, concerns, or you want to give us your take on how wrong we are and how correct you are, we got Twitter, Instagram, and email, isano_monjo for Twitter and Instagram, isano.monjo@gmail.com. If you want to email us, if you want to be civilized. And yeah, that's it. See it. Ending the recording.